You're audible.
And thanks a lot to MIKUIC, who has given a very beautiful lecture. I enjoyed it, maybe in the later half. And my vanakkam to every one of you, my friends. My thanks to the organizers, Vishnu Mohan Foundation, in particular to Swami Ji Sri Hari, and to my beloved Vice Chancellor, Dr. Pramila Gurumurthy, who introduced me to Swami Ji. So I've been asked to talk on the proper education to peace. Of course, that is the very purpose of having our education. We should live properly with all peace. It should be bodily, mentally, individually, family-wise, society-wise, state-wise, nation-wise, and globally. So, of course, this is a needy time to talk about in large, about our proper education towards a peaceful globe. That is the very motto, I think so. That is the very aim of having this type of title. If you allow me, I can go for hours together in lecturing on my own towards this subject. But whereas I've been requested by the organizers to go for 20 minutes. Okay, that's nice. Brevity is the soul of wisdom. I can go short. And why we are having our education? What is the purpose of having education? What is the purpose? Character. To build your character. It starts from individual person. What type of education? See, that is the most important one. Character building education is more important. And that is the very purpose of having education. And the education means to develop the culture within and outside of human beings. That is the very purpose, and every religion is talking too high about it. And every religious leaders and the great leaders of the globe are also thinking, innovating, making all types of innovation, all types of advocations, etc., etc. When the health is lost, nothing is lost. When the wealth, when the wealth is lost, nothing is lost, and the health is lost, something is lost. And if you are losing your character, if the character is lost, everything is lost. So the purpose of education is to build your character. Peace starts from there. It starts from your body to your soul and to your relatives in the family, the kids, society, and then your country, then the globe if possible. That is the system, education system that we had in India. Until Lord Macaulay tried his level best to break our Indian education system. We were so shrewd. The numbers may be in a limited, but whereas the technical knowledge and the practical sense of knowledge was so exhaustive, prevailed in this country. Because in Indian system, every education starts from his infancy, and it starts with kaloki with objects. Kaloki with objects. Porutkaludan sollada. When your mother was feeding you, she was inviting a crow, a kaka, maikonduva. Then she was about to feed the child. Likewise, Ambuli Mama, the moon, she was inviting. She is inviting even today. It is our Indian system. First of all, she is introducing the universal factors, the objects that is moving and the immovable ones, the movable and immovables were being introduced by our mother. So the infant child is learning little thing by her sound system. Kattilanayinum கேட்க, கேள்வி செல்வம், that is the wealth of hearing. Hearing the good words and hearing the introductory remarks of from your mother's, that is Thai Mori, mother tongue. From the tongue of mother, we learned so many things. And the target was not in a singular way of learning. At a time, our pioneers or our forefathers were learning 10 things at a time. 10 things, dasavadhanam, 10 things at a time. It may be in voice, it may be in, video side or audio side or of learning or understanding or questioning, whatever may be, 10 types. Numerical or letter forms or other language or meaning or some other from memory or identification or analyzing, whatever. Observation. There are so many ways and everything comes to a close for the learner for Indian system before the colonial system introduced here. It is of dasavadhanam. Sometimes for the brilliant people, brilliant students, it was sadavadhanam, 100 things at a time, learning 100 things at a time. It was prevailed in India. It was prevailed in Tamil Nadu. Because the education system was age-wise education. And the education starts with the dharma. Introducing dharma, whether the infant child is understanding or not, never bother about. But through the voice of mother, through the voice of mother tongue, dharma was introduced. So that is the very type of education we had. And it leads us to a calm, quiet, and peaceful life with all human beings and with the animals, birds, all living beings. Everything was peace. Even the nature, although now and then there may be some violations, super cyclone, heavy rain, downpour of rain, or something like that. These are all exemptions. But whereas everything was quite peaceful and normal because the human beings were educated in such a way to keep everything peaceful. If I am peaceful, my family will be peaceful. Then my neighbors will also be peaceful. My fellow beings, everything will be peaceful. That is the way of Indian education system. It started from open air system, open air education system. Then the particular individual was introduced with the objects, movable and immovable, in and around the person. He learned what type of tree, what type of flower, what type of water, what type of animal, what type of human beings. Who is it? Father, grandfather, grandma, uncle, child, friend, brother, sister. All types of introduction. This is the beginning of education. Then body and mind preparation was also held in Indian system of education. Preparation of mind and body. First of all, you have to build your body. in such a way to acquire all knowledge and to lead a peaceful life, a quiet and contented life. That is the basic. It is also being taught by words, by activity and action. It was started originally, and using five senses, Meiwaikan Muku Sevi, as five sensors, and the mind was used as a CPU, central processing unit, and the monitor. That was our Indian education system, and especially for Tamil Nadu we had, and a high age-wise education. Yeah, that has been broken nowadays. So therefore only we are in search of having a proper education towards a peaceful life. Yes, it is a needy hour that we have to discuss in detail. Age-wise education has been violated. Originally, our Indian system introduced the education to the young children only by the age of 5 and plus. But what happened now? It starts from 6 months, sometimes 1 year, 2 year, crèche, then kindergarten. Okay, whatever may be. உலகத்தோடு ஒட்ட ஒழுகல் பலகற்றும் கல்லார் அறிவிலாத. Yes, we have to go along with the world to the very direction of the world. Okay. But it has been broken by the high plot of Lord Macaulay and the British colonial system in order to establish their own control over Indian nation. That is in practice still. And therefore only we are in a needy hour to talk in. Okay. But when you are introduced with the nature, when you are properly undergoing the open air system of learning in your young age, ilamayil kal, learn while you are young. Learn while you are young. Then only you can immediately acquire and keep it in mind. It will be in your CPU. Age cannot wither it. You will keep everything. The prosperity of knowledge comes over there from the very beginning of your young age, not on the youth. So Thomas Bobbington Macaulay and Thomas Carlyle once, they were, after knowing the Indian system of education, they have raised a question among the UK parliamentarians. They asked, within quote, if there is any such situation to lose one of it of ruling India and Shakespeare, which will you lose? Immediately they received a reply that they are ready to lose the ruling of India. Such a very question was raised by Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati in the very same period or sometime later, asking all the people whether you are ready to lose your wealth or Avvayar. Avvayar was a saintly lady of our Tamil tradition, was much concerned about the education to the infant children. She was very much concerned with the infant children. Yes, that is the education system starting point. If you are coming to school, when you are a grown-up child, the learning starts. It is not educating. It is studying or learning or whatever you can say. So, Avvayar, the mother of Tamil literature, lived in this country some 1,000 or million years ago and followed by her own tradition, was introducing this education for children. And the education for children should lead all the human society towards a peaceful life. That is the very purpose of education. The purpose of education is to build your character, not the wealth, not the opportunities of having some jobs. Never mind about. If there is no peace in the world, how can you live or to survive? That is anarchy going on nowadays in the name of modernization and of the globalization. One has to conceive all this important message. The message of education to the children who are introduced to education should be taught with dharma. So therefore only all her products, that is Avvayar's product. The Avvayar was a bard, a lady bard, who lived in this country, who is trying to teach all our young children, infant children, to begin their education with dharma. Aram Seya Virumbu. Like to perform dharma. That is the very beginning. The infant children may not be understand what she is saying, but repeatedly she was telling about. That is what is called in Indian system Ubhadhyayanam. Ubhadhyayanam. She will chant it, followed by the young children. If she is chanting like this, Aranjaya Virumbu, the student community or the infant children will also follow her teacher as Aranjaya Virumbu. They may not understand the meaning in the beginning, but whereas they will be trained to chant the very wording, but in time, in course of time, they will understand, and it will fulfill our head as well as our body inside. Because after all, the human being is built up with the body as well as the soul. You are not educating the body, you are educating the soul. The soul should be in a wiseful way developed towards the peace. Because you can earn any much. You can go for study any amount of education, anywhere education. You may be getting a fame, but not the peace. But for having a peace, how much you can pay? Peace is very important for everyone, every living being it needs. If there is any violation in the forest, what will be that happening for wild living beings, wildlife, cattle? They will be suffocated. This is a period of suffocation. So therefore only we are seeking the proper education towards a peaceful life of the globe. Okay. So that is the thing. He is recommending, Mahakavi Bharati is recommending for a proper education towards the peace, because he was living in a struggling period of our national freedom struggle. He was a leading poet of our country. He was a Mahakavi. Mahakavi Subramanya Bharati is advocating the education should be started with the Thai Tamil, the mother Tamil. Mother Tamil, what do you mean by that? Ati Chudi, Kondraivendan, Mudurai, Nalvari. Education is for age-wise. Say like 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9. And after 11 or after 14, the adolescence started. If you are laying a very strong foundation, starting with Shastra, Dharma, and of the environmental, eco-friendly, as well as the human beings, relativity and relationship also, you will have a peaceful life towards the betterment of human. So therefore only she was introducing the young children, infant children, without knowing the meaning of Tamil words, only knowing sucking the breast of a mother may understand things. But starting with the dharma, aram saya virumbu. Aram means dharma. Like to like. First of all, you like it. You need not do it. Like to do dharma. Then comes for human beings, which one is a very, very hardcore or crucial ailment? Ailment, that is what is called anger, angry, anger. Subdue anger, ஆறுவது சினம். சினம் என்னும் சேர்ந்தாரை கொல்லி is the further explanation given by Tirukkural. So for each and every coinage of Avayar, there are so many explanatory notes in poetical as well as in verse libre we got as explanatory commentaries. But it should be in a later period. It starts with the brevity, the brief, Ratna Churukam of Avayar. Aranjaya Virumbu, Aruvad Sinam, Iyalvad Karavel, Ammayum Appanum Deivam, Taindayum Tayum Deivam, Tandai Thai Pain. They are the first knowing gods. Father and mother are the first knowing gods. Okay. So such a word is being taught to us from the fragile condition of your mind. So it immediately grasped and kept it for until your death. So that was our system. Like to do virtue. Aranjaya virumbu. Like. First of all, you like. Then subdue anger. Do not conceal your means. Do not conceal your means. Give it. Kodutupar. So for body and soul, our life is happening or formed. For body, we are feeding something. But for your soul, whether your body is able to move freely without a soul. For soul, are we feeding? Are we feeding? For our body, we are feeding. For our soul, which can be fed, it is also being given by the great saint Tiruvallur, the brother of Avayar. ஈதல் இசைபட வாழ்தல் அதுவல்லது ஊதியம் இல்லை உயிர்க்கு. Give something to others. Possible ones, not all. Keep something for you, and the excess can be extended to others. ஈதல் இசைபட வாழ்தல். Have a bright life, a fame. Live with fame. That is the feeding of your soul. ஈதல் இசைபட வாழ்தல் அதுவல்லது ஊதியம் இல்லை உயிர். Nothing else is possible to feed your soul. So give it. இயல்வது கரவில். Mahakavi Bharati was telling us, நிதி மிகுந்தோர் பொற்கு வைத்தாரி, காசுகள் படைத்தோர் காசுகள் தாரி, அதுவும் மற்றோர் வாய்ச்சொல் அருவியர். at least give some sweet words. Okay. So that is the thing. Tandai thai pain. Honor your parents. Tandai thai pain. Foster your parents. This is the first stage of education. The first stage. Introducing the objects in and around the children. The environment. Then the homely objects. And it should be in materialistic as well as by meaningful words. கருத்தளவிலும் காட்சி அளவிலும் காணக்கூடியவை. Optimistic. Yes, it has been introduced. Therefore, only the William Wordsworth, like Nature's poet, were introducing such a remark to the human being. One impulse from a vernal wood may teach you more of man, of moral evil and of good than all the sages can. Yes, of course. A forest can teach you more than of a rishi or of a sage. It is so. Therefore, only the Indian Puritans in those days had their habituation or habitat only in the forest area or a hilly region without any pollution. Beautiful environment, calm and quiet, the birds singing, the animals were also making the noise, the running brooks, the wind is or sometimes breezing or blowing. And that is such a beautiful climate. The education system started here, and that is what is called our Gurukulam system of education. Singular pointed, only one point at a time, one thing at a time, and that done well. That was our prevailed system of education. Yes. The second stage of education for the same student happened here. Despise not numbers and letters. Despise not numbers, because education starts with numbers, not from letters. That is the concept of the Tamilians. Ennum எழுத்தும் இகழே. Do not despise. Despise not numbers and letters. Cease not to learn. ஓதுவது ஒழியேல். படிக்கிறதுக்கு தவறாது. ஓதுவது ஒழியேல். Okay. Forget not helps. Forget not helps. These are all. The moral education is a humbug word. But our Indian system of education itself was moral. Okay. Forget not helps. Nandri marave. Thinaithunayai nandri sei. Panaithunayai kulvar periyo. Explained by Thiruvalluvar in Thirukkural. It may be a very small, but a timely help. You should be treated as a very large tree. That is the character, which leads you to a peaceful life. If you are living in a peaceful environment with a self-content mind, your family will also be in a peaceful condition. Your neighbors will also, your society, your country, then all the world. So therefore only yadum ure, yavarum kede. All the world is mine, and all the people living abroad are all my kith and kins. That is a saying before Christian era in Tamil. Before Christian era in Sangam literature, one famous poet called Kaniyan Pungundranar, Yadum Ure. All countries are mine. All country people are all my kith and kins. That should be developed. If this type of mentality is being created with your education system. Absolutely, you can live only in peaceful environment. Everything will be peaceful and comfortable for you. After all, you are in search of some comforts for your body as well as your soul. But mostly in the now modern days, what we are doing, we are losing our peace only in search of comforts for our body, not the soul. The education not only comfort your body, no, it may be 20%, but 80% is towards your soul. It has to develop your soul with a high culture, high morality. That is what is called dharma in Indian context. The education, Indian education system is the most powerful, beautiful one for the entire globe. If the human society is really interested in having a peaceful education, a useful education, a worldly education, which can comfort your soul also, they have to select the Indian system of the Thodakkappalli education. The elementary education existed in this country before Lord Macaulay. Okay, this is a second stage. Forget not helps. Sleep on silk cotton bed. Not the original the cotton. She is advocating for silk cotton, which can come not only giving you much comforts, it leads you to a good health also. You can leave, you can go for a better sleep, a comfortable, a strong sleep indeed. Likewise, what are all you can eat, how much you can eat, and age-wise eating, the feeding system was also introduced. Nowadays, the nutritionists, what they are doing, you know, there are much anarchy. But our Indian system was introducing what to eat, how to eat, and how much you eat. For Indian temperature, Indian climate, how to eat. Even Tolkappiyam was introducing how to eat. It is not a cold country. It is almost a tropical country. So how to eat, how much eat, and what to eat, and how to eat. These are all introduced. Motherly tongue, mother's tongue. That is the mother tongue. Hear meaningful talks. You need not go for studying or learning or knowing or understanding or what, but do not hesitate to hear the wise people, the knowledgeable people. He may be an illiterate, but a very good agrarian, agriculturist, a blacksmith. Try to hear him. They are giving you much knowledge rather than your books or of your teachers. That is the advocation given in the second stage of elementary education. The third stage come here to build the character of the person. The young children should be developed with all developments of character also. Do not improper activities. Do not improper activities. Iyalbu aladana seye. Iyalbu aladana seye. Do not go for that. Do not speak deceitful. Vanjaham pese. This is a stage, third stage, in which they have grown up to understand little things about the wordings also. Vanjaham pese. Associate with wise. Sanror inathu iru. Always associate with wise people, not with the thugs. There may be some people having animatic activities. Do not go along with them. Associate yourself with wise people. Then you will be molded in a very nice way, wiseful, peaceful. Okay. Do well for everything. Yes, I will. I will. Do well. Saivana tirundachai. Do well everything. Do not idle. Sombitriyel. Keep not idle. Do something in your field, in your home, or in your office or wherever you are. Okay. So such are the proper education which can lead the human society towards a peaceful life. And by having a peace, a complete peaceful mind, peaceful body, peaceful family, peaceful relatives, and our neighbors and our society, everything will be peaceful. And we can go for a peaceful life indeed. And by these words, I must once again thank the organizers for trying their level best to lead the society, human society, towards a peaceful life indeed. And thanks to one and all for giving me this opportunity. Nice of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.